And sticking with football, South Africa is said to say it can play a huge role in transforming African football. These were the views of the Confederation of African Football Deputy General Anthony Baffoe when he was speaking at the Brand South Africa special Ubuntu Breakfast session. The event, which took place in Cairo yesterday, was targeted at the CAF and AFCON executives as well as African football legends. Baffoe says the story and history of the Rainbow Nation has inspired a lot of people in the continent, including himself. The aim of this event was to enhance the country's brand reputation as well as position it as an attractive investment destination. Close to 100 people attended this function.
Egypt has got a history of supporting the liberation movements, of playing a role in the African continent. But there was a civilization here. The best civilization that Africa has ever produced was based in this country and in this continent. And for us to come and play here and expose ourselves and advertise ourselves, it's important because it's a big stage. You know, for Brand South Africa to come here and say, we are part of this festival, to come and say, South Africa is open for business, to come and say, we are all Ubuntu, and we all want to work together. It's very important and very strategic because the whole world is here. I mean, it might be an African continent, but the whole world is looking at Egypt right now.
Even to tell you, when I'm in South Africa, a lot of people think I'm Zulu. So they speak to me in Zulu language, you know, and for me, I'm African and I'm Pan-African. This is very important. You know, I grew up totally different. I grew up in Germany. I was born abroad, and I was also the first to be born abroad to play for Ghana. And for me, growing up during that time, I was born in 1965. So you can imagine that I had difficult times when it came to racial issues. And I read a lot of books, and not only from Madiba, but also Walter Sisulu, Steve Biko. I'm a great admirer of Steve Biko. Then you have, if you remember the movie Cry Freedom, and of course Desmond Tutu, also one of the guys who inspired a lot of Africans. Oliver Tambo, your airport is named after him. And then also the story of Chaka Zulu, which I saw as a small kid watching the series. And a lot of people, you know, and they wanted to racially abuse us. They call it, look at Chaka Zulu. But I felt very proud to be called Chaka Zulu because he was a very strong man. And he was a footballer too, if you know his history. So for me, it was important to read and get also inspiration.
It's important, you know, Brand SA has come through the visibility of South Africa as well. What are we doing to spearhead other people, not only just ourselves, in terms of this journey? And you know, Nwanku Kanu being here, the Kalusha Boiliers being here, Anthony Baffoe being here, and I think Anthony is one of those former players that has done more than most in showcasing that former players don't just have to go into coaching. He hasn't had to go to coaching, but every tournament, be it for FIFA, be it for CAF, he's been there. And you know, as a future leader, for me, it just makes me proud to see somebody like him. You can see the leadership qualities in him already. The way he relates to people, the languages that he knows, the openness that he deals with people, the respect as well that he has, but also the knowledge about the game, the infrastructure, the administration. And he, trust me, in the long run, he'll be heading up CAF.